happy day, Bookies. We're doing a quick little check-in with you, but we're looking at all things. We're looking at your love life first. This is gonna be real short, y'all. I don't do love readings. I do them if you pay me for them, but I'm not a fan. And so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The poker face card was there. So what I'll say to you is whether you're dating or you are single, or married or whatever your situation is with your love life here, the way that the poker face card was just there in my face, it looked out of the ordinary. It didn't fit in with everyone else, and that was how I knew there was something off about it. You need to be applying the same level of discernment into yourself. I had just done a 60-second reading before I did this one, and the dragonfly was the card. You'll watch the reading. I just recorded it. The dragonfly is a symbol of light. It's reminding you to bring a bit more lightness and joy into your life in order to bring about the changes needed to reach your full potential. Approach things lightly. If someone is like showing up in your life, Gemini, and it's like they're not letting you see them for what they're actually worth, move around. Move around. That's the message there, but let's actually pull some cards now. We got Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, and growth, change mind, rising from the ashes. Gemini, I feel that if you are presently in a relationship, you and your partner may be embarking into like this new area in your love life, experiencing things from a new perspective or a new mindset. Or this is what you and your partner have already agreed to do here, okay? And if you've agreed to do that, then you gotta actually do it. One of the most difficult things to do, especially if you are like recovering from infidelities or like a loss of trust or something like that in your relationship, Gemini, is learn how to embrace the new changes and not continue to revisit the past, right? You lost trust, and so your brain constantly feels like you're in a place where you're in a dangerous situation. And for those of you where you've left behind like a relationship and you're newly dating or you've been dating for some time, it's okay to embrace being single for a while and get to know yourself, learn some things about yourself, grow up a little bit on your end as well, learn some new ways of communicating, get familiar with your love language and things of that nature, so that when it is time for you to be in a relationship here, that you are able to do that from a healed place, and the relationship can grow from a very solid place and not, you know. Overall, the energy that I'm getting in general about your love life at this time, Gemini, giving and receiving, fairness and love, affection, return, new phase, rekindle, renew, and growth, and change mind, rising from the ashes. Someone's relationship is going to completely break down and fizzle and fall apart here, but that's okay. You bitch, that's okay. Yes, it's okay. If the relationship is beyond repair, whatever changes you are trying to implement this week, again, if you're in a relationship, they won't work. And if they don't work, that is your sign to gently figure out how you can exit the relationship and be okay. Um, and for those of you where, again, you're breaking up or you've recently broken up or you've been single for some time here, good. Continue to work on like making healthy choices, being comfortable with making healthy choices in your life in general, and just keep growing and keep going along. You got some more growing up to do, some more changing, some more transformation that needs to happen, and some more getting comfortable with yourself as a single individual before you're ready to be in a relationship. Okay, so let's move on. I offer all types of love readings on my website, Gemini. One for singles, one for people who are in tumultuous relationships, and one for people that are connected to their soulmates and they are wanting to figure out how to grow and build up that connection from communication to spicy time. You can hit the link in bio or description box. Move on. I said I was giving y'all 2 minutes for love readings. I gave you 5. You're welcome. So at this time, Gemini, if you've kind of just been feeling like you're not quite getting anything done. You're in a period of reflection, of growth. You're trying to just kind of take a look at the world around you, and or just if you're noticing things in general about you and your life and your patterns, like you're having some deeper thoughts about what you would like to change, or just you want to grow up. I'm ready to grow up, or I want to do this when I'm grown, or I want to do this when I grow up. Even if you're 45, you may be saying things like that. Keep like keep an eye on your hopes and dreams, but you also need to get out of this limited mindset. There are some things that you've learned, and like, even especially if it's in your career, Gemini, where you want to figure out how you can go from doing what you're doing presently and make more money or do something different. It takes you actually pouring in action. There may be someone who's more of an expert at these things that can support you or help you to do that. I'm always available, but it's never a sales pitch on my end, y'all, because you can learn these same things kind of without the expertise, where like you could DIY. You can learn them on YouTube or TikTok, or if you're reading a book or reading some articles and things of that nature, taking some certification classes and things like that to figure out how to grow in your career. There's nothing that you are incapable of doing here, but there's like a mental pattern, a learning curve that needs to be accounted for to help you grow. Am I focused on what I am losing or gaining, and does my life have room for more pleasure and play? Are you going through some change? Are you scared to let go because of what you might lose? What if you shifted your focus from what you might lose to what you might gain? Endings are actually the new beginnings. 79% of the time, when I am encountering new life coaching clients or encountering new career coaching clients, new businesses that I'm consulting with, it doesn't matter how I'm helping y'all. Even in tarot, a lot of people's greatest fears are about, oh, what if I take this action and I fail? What if you continue to do the same fucking thing that you've been doing and your life is the same forever? Then what could happen? The thing about change that scares us is we think that we can't control what happens next because we've never done it before. News flash, Gemini, you can't control a motherfucking thing that's going on for yourself right now, friend. All you can do is respond to things, choose to remain in the situation or seek out a different one, or yeah, react or not react. That's all the control you have. But I will say here that even with the major arcana cards, the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Magician, whatever you decide is worthy of you pouring your time and energy into will be very successful. And it's not going to be like an overnight thing. For some of you, it will, because God will just be like, finally, kill the shit. We've been waiting long enough. And some of you might be like, God wouldn't say anything like that. Have you met them? No. I just had to. Anyway, I'm not gonna go off on a tangent today, Gemini. But somebody left the funniest comment on one of my videos about how astrology was witchcraft, and I was dabbling with the devil. And I'm just like, oh, okay, friend. When you get to heaven, ask God, and then tell him to send that message expedited to hell. Speaking of, tapping with stars and cards. Stars and cards is now on YouTube and on TikTok. On his separate platforms. But anyway, y'all, yeah. Today, make a list of all the things you will gain from the changes you are going through. Feel your heart, take a breath, and deepen into trust. Amazing things are coming. And then, in what areas am I lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. It's possible to shift the seriousness of life to experience a more creative, wild, and playful side of you. And with that, one thing that children do is they set their minds on something, and then once they've decided that this is something that makes sense to them, they don't let anything stop them from getting into some shit. You are not a child, and so you know how to kind of better plan to not make a mess of things. But choosing to take action toward a goal is not going to turn your life into a mess, my friend. It's going to like really kind of show you what other things need to be changed or aligned or shifted or moved in your life to help make that be a little differently for you. Go outside was the message there. Anyway, that's what I got, Gemini. If you would like to book a personal reading, a live coaching session, you want to send me a tip because you love this reading, you can do all things in the description box or in my bio. That is what I have.